This podcast today is exciting. I am joined by a very special guest who actually is the first member who ever joined our accelerator program, and she joined before we even knew what was in the program. You are going to love this interview and the realization that you can really create a real business. I'm Alex Sharfin, and this is the Momentum Podcast, made for empire builders, game changers, trailblazers, shot takers, record breakers, world makers, and creators of all kinds. Those among us who can't turn it off and don't know why anyone would want to. We challenge complacency, destroy apathy, and we are obsessed with creating momentum so we can roll over bureaucracy and make our greatest contribution. Sure, we pay attention to their rules, but only so that we can bend them, break them, then rewrite them around our own will. We don't accept our destiny, we define it. We don't understand defeat because you only lose if you stop, and we don't know how. While the rest of the world strives for average and clings desperately to the status quo, we are the minority, the few, who are willing to hallucinate there could be a better future, and instead of just daydreaming of what could be, we endure the vulnerability and exposure it takes to make it real. We are the evolutionary hunters, clearly the most important people in the world, because entrepreneurs are the only source of consistent, positive human evolution, and we always will be. I'm excited today. I'm personally excited. I'm professionally excited. And honestly, I'm excited for you because you're going to get to interact with one of my favorite people on the planet. Marley Baird, the CEO of Marley Baird Media, is one of the most talented entrepreneurs I've ever had the privilege of coaching. And we've been together now in a coaching relationship for just about a year. In fact, last year on April 2nd, Marley committed to, or actually before April 2nd, she committed to joining our accelerator program. We were at Funnel Hacking Live last year, and Marley literally overheard Katie talking to someone and saying, we're starting this, new program. You don't have to be at $1 million to join. And Marley, from 5 feet away, said, I want to be the first member. And she literally committed to being the first member and then was the first person to sign up. Marley, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you. It's so funny to hear. Yeah, that I was like, I need to be the first person in that program. And hearing the backstory of it, like your team was telling me, okay, we have it ready. Let's call Marley. And I don't know how much it costs. Here's my credit card. Let's go.
So when we got back, I told my team, listen, we talked to Marley Baird at the event, and she asked if she could be the first member, and she literally committed that she was going to buy this program. So do not sell anybody else until Marley's first. And so member 001 is and will always be you, Marley. And the reason I asked you to get on this podcast is we've been working together for about a year. And you posted this comment in our private Facebook group, our members Facebook group. It was either a post or a comment that just made me smile. And I got like this warm feeling all over. And I think it said something like, well, you tell me, what was it?
I was like, guys, I have a real company. Like, this is a legitimate business. Like, we all have all those imposter syndrome moments, but I have a team that freaking loves working and loves what we do. And like, they make me cry almost on a daily basis because I'm just like, is this real life? This is my team. These are the clients we get to serve. These are the results we get. This is the money in our bank account. What the heck? Like, I have no words, Alex. It's amazing.
It is. Your team's amazing. So I want to go back, Marley. Let's go back to before we worked together, because I want to give everyone some contrast, because right now there are CEOs, entrepreneurs listening that are overwhelmed, don't know how to build a team, doing it all themselves. They're frustrated. Where were you a year ago when we started? Like, if you go back to before the program, what was going on for you?
Yeah, totally spinning my tires, just trying to figure out what the best things to do to build the business were. It was me and my husband and my brother, and we had a few contractors. So maybe 5 total with the contractors. And revenue was just, I don't know, it was between 25,000 a month, which was good, but it just wasn't growing. And we were just stuck and just in this cycle of gain a client, lose a client, gain a client, not really actually growing and feeling or seeing the impact that we wanted to make. And that changed really, really fast.
Well, I want to kind of dig into that a little bit, Marley, because what does it feel like when you can make an impact and you're in that place of gain a client, lose a client, we're not getting ahead and you're working really hard, but you're just not seeing the results?
Yeah, I'm trudging through the mud or like dragging my face against the pavement that I'm like, ah, it sucks. Like, I know that I'm meant for more. And like, it's like you see the vision of where you're supposed to be in the future, but you're like, what's the gap between here and there? And what do I need to do? And what am I not doing right? Because I feel like I'm working so hard, but I'm not seeing the results. So what am I doing wrong? And I mean, it's not necessarily that you're doing anything wrong. It's just that you don't have the right systems in place, or you're not being the person you need to be to have the business that you want to have. And so joining your program really helps to show me that like I had that leadership in me, and I needed to ask for help and find the right people to get that help, and not feel like I'm this fancy unicorn that I'm the only person that can do this. Cause there's people on my team now that I'm like, no, I'm not touching that. Like, you're way better at that than I am. And we move so fast now.
That's so important, Marley. So what you just said is something that I try and convince every CEO I ever talk to who tells me, oh no, I'm the only person who can do this. My immediate reply, we were talking about this right before I hit record. My immediate reply in my head is always like, no, you're not. Like, and I bet you anything, there's somebody who can do it better. So you were in that place of, I'm the only person who can do this. And now you're on the other side of, oh my gosh, there's people on my team who can do it better. What does that feel like?
It's like, again, I say this all the time. Is this real life? Last year, my husband and I traveled 186 days in 1 year because we're the ones that are like managing the clients and going to the shoots and I have speaking engagements and things like that. But I'm like, I can't live like this. At some point we want to have babies, like start a family. And I can't do that on the road with people, or when I'm constantly on the road, and I can't keep scaling and growing my business when I'm the one who's doing the day-to-day things. And this is exactly what we do for our clients too, is we take away the tactical stuff and do it for them so that they can be the visionary, they can be the leader, they can create the movement in their business and be the face of it instead of being in the mud doing all the tactical things.
So we're a year later. A year ago, you were 4 or 5 people, but contractors, not really any dedicated to the team other than Wayne, which Wayne is Marley's husband, and he's exceptionally dedicated. So today, give us the contrast, Marley. Where's the team now? Where's the revenue now?
So we have 14 people on our team.
Whoa, I didn't know it was 14. Congratulations. That's awesome.
And so I love sharing it like this because we started in April last year. And I think the first live event was like June, just a couple months later. And I was like, oh my God, we just had a $40,000 month. So we went from like 20 to 40. And then the next event was September. And I was, again, oh my gosh, record high. We just had a $60,000 month. And I was like, oh my God, guys, I'm making it. Mom, look at me. And at the last event in January, but this happened in December because I remember sending you a Voxer where I was just crying. December, we had our first $100,000 month.
Yes.
And I'm like, so I get the numbers back, and I toned it down a little bit before I sent you that box because I was like just hysterical. But yeah, I boxed you and was just like, I can't believe this. Like, is this real? And look how fast that happened from April to December. Went from $20,000, $25,000 to $100,000 months.
Yeah, from a $300,000 run rate to a well over $1 million run rate. I mean, Marley, it's no surprise to me that you did that. I told you the first time we met, you were an 8-figure CEO, and I'm 100% committed to proving that. So why don't you share with everybody who's listening, what are some of the, or at least one major change that you made in this past year? Like, what was it in our program? What was it in your company? What shifted so much that has put you in this place?
I didn't realize how much my job is to be a leader. It's not doing the tactical things. Like, I thought I'm the only person that can edit these videos. I'm the only person who can sell to these clients. I'm the only person that can post these and write the copy. My goodness, my copywriter is a million times more talented than I am. And it's a better use of my time to not be doing all those things. So I get to lead the team, inspire them. I get to come up with the strategy, be the face of the business that then that's how we're funneling people into our services, and to really put people into their zone of genius and remove any weaknesses, like part of the momentum planner. Where was I uncomfortable yesterday? Making sure that every single person on the team is operating in their strengths and in their superpowers. And if they're not, finding the solutions. And it's really allowed us to have the freedom to dial in our message, to create better content for the people who are looking for us, or who we're serving. So really stepping into being a leader. And oh man, this was a big one from the event in January, was realizing that, like, even if the work doesn't feel hard, it is still the important hard work. So sometimes when I'm like, am I actually working? Like, is this,
I'm having too much fun to be working.
Is it okay that I'm like not dragging my face against the pavement anymore? Because like, this is fun. I like it. And so sometimes I have those moments of guilt that I'm like, man, I didn't do anything today. But then I look at my time study, which I do a time study all the time, just because I like being accountable to myself and see where I'm writing things down. And it's not satisfying to write that I scrolled through Instagram for 30 minutes. So that also helps keep me on track, thanks to you. So there it is.
I'm doing my time study right now for everybody listening. I'm on day 9.
I love it. So when I look at my time study, I got a lot done there, and they're all important things, and things that are in my strengths, and things that are strategic that are supposed to be mine. And then looking at the little things like, oh yeah, maybe I can outsource that tomorrow. I can send that off to someone else on the team who will be better at it than me. So those are the really big things that have, I like what I do. I like my life, Alex. Thank you.
That's so awesome. So Marley, give us some of that contrast from a year ago to what does your life feel like now? Now that you have a cadence in place, now that you have a team in place, now that you have Rachel, who's amazing, backing you up, and there's clarity in the business, what does it feel like now?
Yeah. Well, first of all, to find my right hand, Rachel Blackmore is my COO, and like, just to have someone that, because I can be the visionary and have all these ideas, but to sometimes put it into words and have the step-by-step, that's not my strength. And I used to feel really guilty about that I need to be good at everything, and this is my role, and this is what I'm supposed to do. But really, I'm just not. And so having that person to be my right hand, my shoulder to cry on, my like everything that I need to implement everything, my goodness. And I didn't know it was possible to find that person. So having the system for how to find them and hire them was the kickoff to everything. Also, that last year, like I said, we traveled a lot, and we were burning out. And my husband especially was like, I don't want to do this. And then we got into a place where he's like, I don't want to travel, but I don't want to be without you. And I'm like, but I have to travel. Like, what are we going to do? And now we got to a place where we're traveling when we want to. So like when I have speaking engagements, or if there's a client that we choose to film, because we of course have such great relationships with our clients, but we do also have the option that our team can do the implementation. So now when we travel, we look at it like we're going on adventures, and we call it like every time we travel, it's like, oh, it's our 40-second honeymoon. Like we're always having a good time. And we're not burnt out anymore. And of course, you also introduced me to the Aura Ring, which I'm like, I get to sleep at night. That's
so awesome. So Marley, I think one of the apprehensions that CEOs have, and one of the apprehensions that entrepreneurs have about growth, is that they feel like, I'm doing $25,000 a month right now, and it's so hard and so much work and so much pressure, and it feels overwhelming. If I ever got to $1 million run rate, how much pressure, how overwhelming would that be? Give me some contrast. Has it gotten harder at a higher number, or is it different?
Harder in different ways. Like, it's not like you get there and you're like, I've made it, smooth sailing now. Like, nope. So it's just like, there's a like new level, new devil. It's just, you get to that new place and there's a new set of challenges. But I have the team behind me that I'm not alone, and I'm not doing it myself anymore. And my team also, because of what I'm inspired by from your content and all the other people around us and in the program, like, you really operate from a foundation of self-care first, and really being in integrity and in alignment with yourself and your family. And that trickles down to my team as well. So everything that we're doing, we're making sure, are we setting our goals and targets realistically? Can we achieve this so that we are celebrating wins, not losing gracefully? Look, I'm using your vocabulary.
I'm like, man, you could do my trainings. This is awesome.
I think I could do that.
No question.
And so I don't think there's not that. I certainly don't feel overwhelmed. And I think that the communication in our team, I'm making sure that every single person on the team feels excited and happy about what they're doing. And we just had our monthly all hands a couple days ago, actually. And one of the members of my team said, how cool is it that we are the ones that get to be in the trenches? That like we as a team, as our core executive team right now, we're the ones that get to create this growth and create this change. And all of the team members that get to come, sure, they're going to be so excited and they're going to see all the wins and successes, but they're not going to know that experience of being in the trenches like we are right now.
It's so awesome. Marley, you sound like you're having so much more fun at $1 million run rate than you were at 300,000.
Oh, heck yeah. Like there's more people to enjoy it with. Every single day on my huddles, we're laughing and crying sometimes. And man, it's different. It's in an amazing way.
Marley, you inspire me. And I know you've inspired every person who's listened to this. So I want them to be able to reach out, get to know you, understand what you do. By the way, I want everyone to know Marley is not just a client and a close friend of mine, but I'm also Marley's client. And the day that I spent with her and Wayne shooting video was absolutely game changing. I've got notes from that day that I take out every time I shoot video. So if you are looking to get more exposure, to put some videos out there, to elevate your brand, to have people know exactly what you do, why you do it, and how, you have to contact Marley Baird Media. How do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, our website, marleybairdmedia.com, youtube.com/Marley Baird Media, Facebook, check me out, Marley Baird. I'd love to meet you. We want to work with people who have that movement, that message that needs to be a movement, that needs to change the world. That's what we want to help you do.
Yeah, don't pass up this opportunity. If you're looking for exposure and you want somebody to help you, reach out to Marley. She is absolutely a game changer. And Marley, thanks for sharing today with everybody.
Thank you.